Feel like I'm in a straitjacket. So, guys, first of all, welcome. Thanks for being here. I can see Facebook is open. So I'm going to open up for any questions at the end, but I'm not going to open up for questions now because there's a high chance that I will answer most of the questions during the chat. So, guys, make sure you do mute your mics, Craig Knowles. And just keep them locked up if you can, because obviously we are going to hit record on this now for people that can't make it live, and we don't want to hear a load of background noise and what could potentially be some embarrassing evening behavior maybe going on in the background in some of your houses. So let's keep the mics off. So first of all, I'm not really going to teach you anything tonight about training and nutrition. And I'm going to come on to why. Because, again, drop me a yes in the comments. Drop me a yes in the comments on Facebook. You've probably had umpteen, not used that word for a while, so word my nan used to use, umpteen nutrition plans, numerous training plans, been in boot camps, gyms, fat camp, Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Juice Plus, Herbalife, Fatkins, Cambridge, and any of the other useless, pointless, quick fix plans on the market, as well as the high array of shady online coaches, which make my job very difficult, but also make me look very good, that just dish out the standard chicken and rice, 1,200 calories, no carbs, starve you to an 8-week result to get another transformation picture for their Facebook before selling more plans and chucking you back on the scrap heap. So what we're working on here is, yes, there is £1,000 first prize for the best transformation. And yes, I can't wait to give that to whoever wins it. But this is also about sustainability. Like, as much as I hope you all convert at the end and you're all brilliant and you all join the main Unbreakable team and come on all the events and become part of the full squad, ideally, if you've got what you want, I don't really want to be seeing you again. I don't want you to feel like you need to stay in because you can't live without me or my plans because you don't understand anything. Does that make sense? So 99% of people don't have a knowledge problem. They have an implementation problem. You kind of know what you should be doing. You're just not doing what you know you should be doing. And that's the difference between succeeding and not. And there's no point in us doing anything in these 90 days. Like, any dickhead coach can put someone on 1,200 calories, very low carbohydrate, tell them to do cardio every day, almost bully them into feeling like they're not good enough and they don't, they're not putting in the work if they don't do it, and get a very quick weight loss result. But that's not what we're here for. Like, I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. And I want you to walk away from the end of this experience understanding calories, understanding macros, understanding a calorie deficit, and understanding what food maintenance is. And the best analogy I can ever use, and by the way, I'll say this really honestly now, right? If anyone is not willing to track their food, good luck, because you're going to fail. Pure and simple. Okay. And the analogy that I'm going to use for you guys to understand this is very simple. It's your monthly bills and it's your wages. So if you got in the shit, so to speak, with your business or financially, we've all had financial difficulties in the last 2 years, and you went to your accountant and you said, my accountant's called Darren. Darren, I'm proper in trouble here and I need your help. Okay. Just the same as being overweight, being unfit, being stressed out, anxious because of it, low confidence, low mental health. And he would say, right, well, let's just have a look at let's look at what's coming in, Lee, and look at what's going out. Thing is, Darren, I don't really know, because I don't really like tracking money. I don't really like counting finances. Okay, well, that's fair enough. If you don't know, well, let's just go and get the statements out, because that information's there and we can have a look at those statements. See, the thing is, I don't have statements either. Like, up shit creek without a paddle is the phrase, isn't it? You have no idea. This is why so many times when people say, I don't know why I'm not losing weight, because you're not in a calorie deficit. That's why, because you don't know what's going in and what's going out. Now, the reality is, you know, and it's not an exact science. So we don't need to overthink it to start with. I'm going to show you where your nutrition plans are. Like I said in the last two videos, 95% of people going sober, reducing their alcohol, portion control, and just doing the training and getting out for 31 minutes cardio every day are going to see world-class results in the first probably 30 to 60 days. Okay, we don't need to make huge changes. We don't need to fall into this trap of perfectionism, which is pretty much the lowest level of fear. Like, I'm not going to do it unless I can get everything perfect. The same people that don't ever get started because they're waiting for the right time. They're waiting until they have the headspace, which will never happen. Okay, so in terms of the reasoning behind it as well, because again, this is why some people get triggered, I think, by coaches. You can't, and you can take this into your own life. You can't tell people you're doing something, but not tell them why you're doing it. That's what stresses people out. That's when they find you authoritarian. That's when they think you're probably a bit of a dick. So the reason why I'm doing it, it is actually easier, right? And some people don't believe me when I say this. For me, Nat, Levi, Luke, for me to have just gone on to Fitness Pal and written one set day of food that's perfect to your calories and macros actually is an easier job than doing it the way we've done it. But if you go to your, I'm just going to share my screen so you guys can see it. So anyone who hasn't yet found their nutrition plan, I'm going to show you where it is. Can you guys just let me know? Can you see my screen? All right. Yeah, because I can see it on Facebook. All good. So in PT Hub, it might go a little bit small on Facebook, by the way, guys. Oops, there's a message open. Don't want to be in that. In PT Hub, in your account, so I'm going to use, who can we use as an example? Let's move this over here. Just someone drop me a yes in the comments on Facebook or Zoom, just to let me know you can see that okay before I waffle on and then you can't see anything. Yeah, you can see it. All good. Yeah, all good. Okay. So in your account, so I'm going to go into who won't mind. Let's go into, we'll go into Alan's as an example. So in here, under your files on PT Hub, so it's slightly different on the phone version, but we have assignments here, okay? And in assignments, we have files. Now, rather than just doing a very simple basic plan, again, which you can do on these apps where it's just certain meals, this is your take home forever. So this will see, as you'll see, as I go into it now, I can download it. They're all individually named. And this is something that I pride myself on as well. And this is why most people don't have, most coaches don't tend to have Facebook groups. They don't tend to have WhatsApp groups. Drop me a comment in why you think these coaches don't have WhatsApp groups. What would be a reason with all their clients why they couldn't have a WhatsApp group, why they couldn't have a Facebook group? Because they send out the same generic shite to every single person who joins their plan. They have about 5 different options, and this is why some of you guys might know this if you've been with coaches before. Trust me, if you receive a plan within 48 hours, they're either really not busy or they're sending the same copy and paste bullshit to every single client. Every single one of you could download your plan on here now and pop this in the WhatsApp group or the Facebook group, and I guarantee you no two plans are the same. So once you've downloaded this, they're hyperlinked as well. You can do all this on your phone. I'm just showing you on the screen because it's easier. So you'll have your calories, and you'll have your carbohydrate amounts, your fats amounts, and your protein amounts. Now, when you click onto, we can use MyFitnessPal or you can use NutriCheck or any of the other accounts. But once you've downloaded your plan and you can see here what you've got in terms of your calories, it's quite simple to just go onto MyFitnessPal and you go to calories, settings, and put in your calories and macros. Guys, mics, mute, please. So when you click in the plan here, this will also take you to, and this is where you guys might find it a lot easier. It will take you to MyFitnessPal.
Welcome to today.
There we go. A very young, big eyebrows Lee in lockdown. And it takes you literally through exactly how to do it. So I show you on the screen, literally how to put every single meal in, how to put the calories in, how to put the macros in, how to put the foods in, how to find them. So that video is literally, see how many, like if you go on YouTube, it's got like 2,000 views now, but it shows you exactly how to do it. So you're not lost. And also this is, you know, something like, I don't know what you guys are like, but it's why I recorded that video. And there's also, I share my phone and show you how to do it with the phone. Now, the reason is because you need that video because you're not going to get it first time. So I urge you to be patient. And the only way, probably the best analogy I can use to describe it, right, is like, who remembers, like some of you guys are as old as me, who remembers when everyone had Nokias, right? And you had like the rubber Nokia as well, where you could have a argument where you misses and throw it against the wall and it just bounced off and you played Snake or whatever. And then we moved to Ericsson's, or then we moved to iPhones. Well, I don't know about you guys, but the first time I got an iPhone, you're like, I don't know how to use it. I literally haven't, like, you guys must have all been there, right? When it's literally, it's like, it's a mission just to be able to send a text message to start with. And then you do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, just like you learned Facebook and Instagram and email and all these other things. And all of a sudden, just like you don't even think about putting your shoes on, tying your shoelaces, putting your keys in the car. And most of us, you know, we've had this conversation before, haven't we? You know, you get to work and you can't even remember driving there or driving back because it's become habit, and repetition is the master of all skill. So if you don't get MyFitnessPal to start with, or it's nowhere near perfect, don't stress out. Just the fact that you're becoming aware of what you're eating, again, in weeks 1, 2, or 3, is going to have a big effect with the extra exercise. So any questions on nutrition, post them on the Q&A post in the Facebook group. I've been lenient with this so far, and I will be lenient with it within reason. But if there's individuals who just think I'm just going to send Lee 10 messages on Facebook every single day, I will block you and ignore you without any apology whatsoever. Not because I don't care about you, not because I don't want you to get results. You'll see how I will go 110% to get results with every single one of you. But I can't have 60 people in the DMs every day asking me questions when they can just be directed to things in this group. And there's also myself, Matt, Luke, Pete, loads of people that will help you here. So you get a faster response time. So it's pinned, it's featured, it's in the Facebook group, it's the first post. And there's also one of these meetings every single Monday morning. So the support is here and the help is here, but it has to go through the right channels, because otherwise I can't deliver the coaching service that I want to, if it's everyone asking questions individually. So I hope that makes sense and you respect that. Likewise, if it's private, every single one of you has got my email, so you only need to ask. So in regards to what I said at the start, before we finish on training, so your level of results will always come down to the level of your planning. I've said this so many times, and I'm going to be dropping in a mindset video every day. And the reason why, like, my mentor actually thinks I'm crazy. It's like, you do a live every day. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, are you completely off your head? Nobody does that in this industry. Nobody does it. Why do you do it? And I'm like, because we have to keep their minds on fire. We have to keep them focused. As I've said, people don't lose motivation. They get distracted. They stop doing the work. They don't plan. They don't schedule. That's why I created my life's work into one book, because we have to know what we're doing in terms of food, what we're doing in terms of training. It doesn't have to be disruptive. It doesn't have to be over restrictive. It doesn't have to ruin your life. You don't have to quit drinking, although you will see amazing results if you do for the first 31 days in January. And it's a great discipline challenge as that as well. That's as much the 31 days no alcohol and the 31 minutes of cardio every day for 31 days in January, for me, is as much about breeding discipline, because it's not a big ask. And you have to question yourself, if any of you are getting married or you've got big social occasions that you want to drink at, I get it, by the way. But if you haven't, and you're struggling to think, oh God, I can't even get myself for a walk for 31 minutes every day and stop drinking for 31 days, then we really need to drill down on why you're here, your commitment, your why, your discipline, and everything in between. And we've got videos for all of that, because trust me, everything comes from here. You can have the best nutrition plan in the world, the best training plan in the world. If we've not got the mind in the right place to do the work, then it's completely irrelevant. So the big thing as well, as I said, is not going for this perfectionism from the outset. There's a few people who, and you know you are, I never mention names, but a few people who already get really stressed and kind of wound up because you can't get Fitness Pal perfect. Well, you're not going to get it perfect. You've been doing it 2 days. It takes time, but just as I said, just the fact that you have an awareness will improve you. You will drop body fat just by hydrating, moving more, eating more in this first week. Then once everybody gets a review at the end of 4 weeks, so you guys update your photos on the app every week, you update your measurements, there's a section for that. It's all stored. So you'll be able to say week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Then we can see all the food that's been tracked for week 1, week 2, week 4. And then we can see how much training you've done. And then we can review things. Again, a lot of questions that people have said. I love this one as well. What happens at the end of week 3? What happens at week 4? What happens at week 5? When does my training happen? When does this happen? One guy said, when do you change my calories? When do you change my macros? This is where we need to calm the emotions, because you're thinking about what's going to happen at the end of week 4 before you've even learned how to track food for 1 day and completed 1 day. Does that make sense? This is what anxiety is. This is what creates stress. We're too far in the future. And really, again, when I've done this, another coaching session that will be delivered on mindset, this is whether I'm working with private clients on 12 months goals, business strategy goals, and everything in between. It's about breaking it down. So when we do and this will be recorded as well if you can't join us, when we're doing the full mindset day at Ringwood Hall on the 27th of January, one of the key trainings that I do is called Designing Your Dream Year. So what we do is we get clear on exactly, and this is the same whether it's 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, 12 months, we get clear on exactly what we want, like business-wise, finance-wise, fitness-wise, my body, time with Logan, and everything in between. I have total clarity on what I want for this year. If I told you some of the goals, you would say that's ludicrously. There's no way you're going to do that. That's the goals that excite me, by the way, ones that people think that, and I don't know whether I can achieve them. But then when we work on that, okay, this is what I need. This is what needs to have happened in terms of 12 months. This is how many sales. This is how many leads. This is how many pounds. This is how many miles. This is how many anything we need to do to get where we want. And then we break it down to 6 months. Okay, so in order to be 6 months towards that goal, this is what needs to have happened by the end of July. Okay, all of a sudden that's not looking so big. Okay, in order to be on track for my 12-month goal at the end of the first quarter, this is what needs to have happened. Okay, now this is starting to get really smaller. And then I bring it back to 45 days. And then I bring it back to 7 days. And then I bring it right back to 1 day. What do I need to do today to move towards that goal? And if you can adapt that same mindset to this journey, everything will calm down in terms of your emotions, in terms of your stress levels, your anxiety, and everything in between. But like I said, if you have got any questions, do ask. But the number one reason why, and it's unavoidable that people quit this plan, and some people do quit, and some of you watching this may well quit. Overwhelm. Trying to do all of the things all at once on their own, not asking any questions, rather than just thinking about what I call the LNS, which is the next logical step, okay? Or the logical next step. So when we think about that, that is what I want you to get clear on after this meeting today. Where do you want to be in 90 days? How do you want your physique to look? How do you want your results to look? Where do you want to be personally? And go off on a little tangent as well. How many date nights do you want to have had with your partner? How many fun days out do you want to have with the kids? What experiences do you want? Where do you want to travel? What else do you want to do? Because this is one of the keys to success in all areas. We have to know what we want in order to do the work towards it. And then we have to break it down. Because if not, if we're not clear on, like, one of my mentors, Paul Moore, used this analogy, and I love it. It's one of my favorite analogies ever. When we're talking about getting clarity on goals and where we want to go and how we want life to look and what we want to achieve, if we don't know that, well, it's not surprising we get distracted and lost. And we were at a meeting and he said it's like calling an Uber and the driver says, "Hey up, Paula, how you doing? Where do you want to go?" And Paula says, "I don't know, but not here because I don't like here and I'm not feeling good." Like, you're screwed from day one, right? Because you don't even know where you want to go. So if you don't know where you want to go, then you can't have a plan to get there. So we need to visualize where you want to be in 90 days. Visualize how you want to look. And then bring it back to what needs to have happened in the first 45 days. And then bring it back to what needs to have happened. Remember, you've got loads of time. This is still pre-week. Okay, we start officially next Monday. So you've got time to ask questions, download Fitness Pal. Some people have been going 2 or 3 weeks already. By the way, the start photos for the prize will be the ones that are submitted next Monday. It has to be that way because some people signed up earlier. So it will be the photos that are submitted next Monday to the end photos that will be analysed. So is that clear to everyone so far? Has anyone got any questions? You guys pop any questions, and whilst you're doing that, I'm just going to reshare and show you where training is before coming on to it. Now, if we go into PT Hub again. Now, okay, I've got David's open here. He won't mind me sharing it. So again, every person has their gym plan within the programs section of PT Hub. Once you click start on this plan, you will have a schedule. You can see they're scheduled out for the full 90 days. What you're doing every single day. Now, again, don't beat yourself up. Some people have got home plans. Some people have got gym plans. Some people have got muscle building plans. Some people have got fat loss plans, HIIT plans. Did you see this one's a mixture of upper body gym, fat burning, lower body gym, and fat burning. So it's a combination of those two things. But inside each session, again, you will see the warm up, the weights that can be logged if it's a weights plan. We've got a superset here, and those will appear each day. Now, the reason why I set them out with all the daily programs is that I want you guys to have that notification each day. It pops up in your schedule on the app. So if this was your day one, and again, don't worry if you've clicked start and you've already started it, I can add some on the end. You're not going to lose anything. But each session, once you've started it, will appear in your schedule on that day. Now, if you can't do it, just to show you guys, so you can see if I go back into, because life's never going to be like that, is it, right? That's exactly what I say with, Alan, I think you're watching, by the way. You just need to download. You can see that's an inactive user there. That means you just need to sign in and download your account. But I'm going to go back into Alan's again. So you can see his training plan here. Now, the training plan is there with all the sessions, and you can see the green ticks next to them. So I get a compliance report for each client, by the way, so I can see whether you've done the trainings or not. But as well as the program, if you go into assignments, there's also a workout section. Now, in workout section is all the sessions that are in your plan. It shouldn't be there. That are assigned individually. So let's say, like, you weren't expecting to train on Wednesday, but you end up getting to go to the gym for a couple of hours and you want to do the total fat burn session because that was a session that you really enjoyed and you got on with. You can see it's there. That's some HIIT intervals just individually to go into it. So again, don't, like, where I'm at and kind of what I'm trying to get at here is I don't want any of you to kind of get into this zone. And this is what a lot of people do, where I need to tick every box every day. I need to do every session. Like, I've got ADHD and autism, so this is me in a nutshell. And if you can do it and you can nail it, great. But most people can't, and it just becomes overwhelming. And as I said, then it leads to them quitting. I'll answer all the questions at the end, guys, so I don't get distracted. But what happens is every week is going to be different. You're going to have to roll with the punches. You're going to have days, and this is the way I teach people with nutrition, right? You're going to have days when, who can I see? Paul and Danielle Walker, you get home on a Friday and you just, every single one of us does this. We're all completely human. Do you know what? This week, I've had enough. It's late. We're tired. We're just going to get a takeaway. Okay. That's not, I'm not saying that is you, by the way, Paul. Right? It's not a crime. Nobody's going to die. You haven't messed up the plan. You don't need to start again on Monday or do any of these crazy things that people do just because of what's happened on one day. You're not going to fail because of 1, 2, 3, 4 bad days. And I want everyone to be a consistent 10, a consistent 10, a consistent 7 rather than a sporadic 10. Like I said, it's better to be consistently good than occasionally great. So if you mess up and you do that, great, you're human. Put your mess up in MyFitnessPal. Holy mother of Jesus, I can see that's 1,400 calories, and I'd already had 2,000 that day. Okay, that brings my day to 3,400, and I'm only on 2,600. So, okay, so I've basically overspent by 900. Rein it back in. You could chip 100 calories out for the next 9 days per day, and you would still be in exactly the same place. Does that make sense? It's not about being perfect. And again, it's all I want. Like, most of us have got like businesses or busy jobs. Most of us have got kids. I have. There's days when I don't train, guys. There's days when I pull in at the garage and eat 2 bags of squashes because I got done again because they were 2 for £3 rather than £1.25 each. Okay, I get it. I'm human. We're all human. But what we need to understand is, as long as we can look ourselves in the mirror at the end of the week, say, do you know what? I did my best this week. I did my best with the time that I've got in training. I tracked all my food. I wasn't perfect, but I was better than yesterday. That's going to get results. I'm not saying be slack, but again, don't be too over perfect or an over level of perfectionism, because that's actually, perfectionism is a level of fear when people are like, I'm not going to do this because it wasn't perfect, or I'm not going to continue because I can't do it perfectly. It doesn't matter, okay? It's just about each week doing your best. And like I said, everyone's going to get results just based off of, you know, these small habit changes. And the mindset sessions will be every single day. I'm going to post them in the WhatsApp group. You guys can't reply in the WhatsApp group because it would just get stupid, but they will be there each and every day. So you will have the recording of the previous days or the previous weeks, or the old ones that I've done across the last week. And then we will also have the new one each week. But if you're struggling, if you need help, please ask for it. That post is open in the WhatsApp group every single day. Every single one of you have my email. It's lee@freemanfitness.co.uk. The help and support is here. The only thing that I will get pissed off with is if people don't ask for help and then try to make it my fault that you didn't get the help. That will trigger the hell out of me, and I'll call you out, because that's a lie. That's not fair. And I've had people do that in the past. Okay, there's no stupid questions. The only stupid question is the one you didn't know the answer to and you didn't have the balls to ask. If you're stuck, put your hand up. Get involved in the Facebook group. Don't be a lurker. Don't be the lone wolf. Okay, and that's it. So I'm going to come on to asking the questions. But guys, I'm excited. I'm going 150 million% to make sure you guys, I want transformations for every single person. I can't wait to give the £1,000 to the person who's going to win it. But we've all got to do the work. We've all got to show up. So, questions. Ciro, do I need to download the app? Yes, you will have. Guys, don't anybody go to the App Store. You will have an activation email from my PT Hub. 95% of you have already done it. If you go to the App Store and download it, you're going to download a trainer account, and it's going to create a world of pain, because then your email won't be able to be used, and then you'll have to get hold of PT Hub and get that account hard deleted. Just don't do that. If you completed your application for your questionnaire, you will have an activation email for the app in your emails. If you're unsure, just drop me an email and I will pick them up in the morning. Should we be part of a WhatsApp group, as you just mentioned? Yes, Amanda, the Unbreakable 90 WhatsApp group, and also the mindset group. In fact, I'll post the links to both of them in there now, in case you're not in them. Uno momento. So here we go. In fact, I'll post it in the Facebook group and tag everyone afterwards, links to the first two groups, because it's not going to let me do that on my phone. But yes, you do get access to those two, not the main Unbreakable family client groups. That's the one when people chat in it, and obviously it's too many people. Due to some days I'm so busy at work, it's impossible to eat. As long as we are under calories, do I then not need to worry about my macros as I do my Fitness Power Advanced but missing a meal? Yeah. So two things in regards to my Fitness Pal that are really important. When you look at your metrics on it, right, you have your diary for the day, and then there's a nutrition button that you press at the bottom, which shows you basically if you have 200 grams of carbs, how many you've had and how many are left. There's 3 tabs on that, and a lot of people get confused. One of them is nutrients, one of them is macros, and one of them is calories. So you scroll down to the bottom of the day for your diary, there's a nutrient box. Make sure it's on nutrients, because calories and macros, it just gives you these crazy pie charts that it will show you that your percentages might be right, but your percentages could be perfect and you could be miles under on calories. But in regards to Jen's question, yeah, and remember this one phrase, okay? Calories are king. Now, to give you guys a little bit of extra knowledge, this is why, even though there's nothing bad in it, this is why fats get a bad name. 1 gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. So you could essentially be 30 grams of carbs over and 30 grams of protein under. Your calories would still be perfect. So as long as they're within 20 or 30, don't overthink it, as long as you're within your calories. If you are struggling to eat the amount of food, as some people do, again, your calories are an upper limit. Don't force yourself to eat. Okay, if I see it and I think you're dangerously under eating, I'll let you know. But don't force yourself to eat, because it will create a bad relationship with food. In regards to fats are 9 calories per gram. So 1 gram of fat is over double in terms of calories. This is why things like oils, butter, mayonnaise, we need to be very, very careful. So, but as generally, if we're 15, 20% out, 20, 30 grams, it's a little bit all over. I'm really not bothered at this first stage. As I said, you're not professional bodybuilders. No one's getting on stage at the Olympia. Yes, optimal muscle protein synthesis is every 4 hours. Yes, we can time carbohydrates around training for creating an optimal anabolic window, but things like that, again, you know, it's not important for what any of you have outlined your goals. Christian, my daily stretches amount to 1 hour, 45 minutes if I follow the times and the reps on the program. Is that correct? No. Let me have a look. So contacts, I'll just have a look at that for you now. So if you look at so Christian, I'm just going to go into your training plan. So the daily morning stretches. So the stretches, if it says 5 reps of 30 seconds. So yeah, no, there's a mistake. I'll sort this, mate. I'll message you. That's a mistake on yours. Yeah, I'll look at that, buddy. That's our mistake. I'll have a look at that. So that's one hell of a stretch routine, isn't that? Isn't that, mate? Jesus wept. But I think it's yeah, I'll always like Stretch Armstrong Day. It's one of each of those, mate. Let me have a look at it. Right, I'm just going to go through the Facebook messages now. So when you send WhatsApp on. So questions. Mark Keane, how do I find the Q&A on the Facebook page? Good question. So it is, so you're in the private Facebook group. If you're not, go back to your onboarding email. There is a link to join it. Or you can just search it. You do have to be approved. You can't just join it. So they've moved. Bear with me. So within the featured posts, that's why I don't know why that's happened, guys. Featured, somebody's moved that. So you can just post live in the group. So this post here is within the featured post. So you'll see it says ask Lee anything. So you can just comment on here, tag me so I get a notification. And obviously if I don't answer it, the reason why it's here as well is Nat's in the group, Luke's in the group, Gordon's in the group, Pete's in the group. So, you know, you'll get a response very, 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 very quickly. But yeah, that is just in if you're in the discussion, it's in the featured posts. And what I'm going to do is, just bear with me, I'll do this while you guys are on here. Just gonna... I'm just going to move that over to the left. There we go. So that's just that'll be the first post now. I've moved that. There we go. So if you go to featured, it's the very, very first post there. Post on there anytime, and I will get straight back to everyone. So, if I get a takeaway, how do I track it in MyFitnessPal? So you need to guesstimate. If you're asking that as the first question, I'm a little bit worried. No, I'm kidding. So again, you know, a chicken breast is going to be around about 200 grams of chicken. You know what your rice is going to be, and I'd probably account 300 or 400 calories for oils and everything else cooks in. Anything that tastes amazing is going to have a lot of oil on it, and this is why it can be a little bit dangerous. But I would generally... Depends what you order on a takeaway, to be honest with you. But I would probably, if you're having a solid takeaway, I would probably say you probably need to leave in the region of 1,200 calories on that day. But then, like I said, if you've already had 1,500 and then you make a bit of mistake and you go over, just pay it back. Like I said at the start, it's exactly like a savings account. No one dies if you take 200 quid out of your savings, but if you want your savings to stay where they were or grow, then you need to take it out and pay some more in. And food is exactly the same. Yep, 10,000 steps per day. Lorraine, I've set my macros to 30%, 35%, 35% carbs like before, but my plan says 30, 30, 40. Will this have a massive impact? Yeah, just change it to exactly what it is on the plan, Lorraine, because I've recalculated everything from scratch. So your plan, even though you've been a client before, will be a different plan this time because you're in a completely different place to where you were last time. So, Danny, I needed to say that first day of my job. Da, 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 da. How do I get the binded 90-day planner? I can't remember how much they are to buy them. I'll post that up in the group later and tag everyone. About 22 quid, I think, including postage and packaging. We don't normally sell them, but I will do if you guys really want one. Richard Knox, as I eat out a lot due to being away from home 60% of the time, how do I track this on MyFitnessPal? Great question. So if you, this is why FitnessPal saves your life, guys, and gets you out of trouble, by the way. So if by eating out, you mean, bollocks, caught short today, need to go to the garage. So you can go straight into the garage. Let's say if this was me and I was caught short, I would go into Asda and I'll probably get 2 meal deals. So I'd get 2 chicken salad sandwiches, I'd get 2 pots of either eggs or fruit, and I'd get the drink that goes with it, and I might grab a couple of protein bars as well. On the go, I can scan the barcodes. So you scan the barcode and it goes straight into MyFitnessPal, and then MyFitnessPal will show you what you have left for the day. So anything that's got a barcode can be scanned. But likewise, just use your brain to guesstimate as well. So if I do go through this on the MyFitnessPal training video in depth, by the way, if you want a refresh. But in regards to, let's say I'm in hotels all the time. Well, I was before I went deaf in one ear and I was doing DJ gigs. But like when I get up in the morning, I might have 3 slices of toast. I might have 4 eggs. So I can just put Asda 4 eggs. Warburton's brown toast, 4 toast. Everything, including the brands and everything, is on there. So just, think what it is and what's in it. Again, you'll get used to these things over time. This is why it's so important using the app. The little squares of butter that you get in hotels and when you go to pubs and stuff. One of them is 10 grams of butter. So you'll get used to it and learning how to do that. An average jacket potato is 200 grams. An average chicken breast is 150 grams. An average piece of steak is 200 grams. So, and also, if it is stuff that you can't scan or that you packed before, there is food labeling. But again, anything you're unsure on, you can always post a picture up in the group, and I'll tell you as well around about what's in it. But, just think how close it is to something else you have, compare the amounts to that and guesstimate. Like I said, it's not an exact science. This is where a lot of people come unstuck because they think that nutrition is an exact science. So if they didn't get it perfect, they're not going to get the results they want. It's not. Cooking process changes it. Food labeling can be up to 25% out. Scales can be up to 25% out. And various other variables. So again, we're just looking for a starting point to get everything in place, and then the full assessment happens at the end of week 4. Mark Webb, so we need to screenshot MyFitnessPal every day. No, just track your food on MyFitnessPal every day. Everything is logged on your individual accounts and kept there. You don't need to screenshot it and post it in the group. However, if you wanted to for accountability, go for it. The group's there for you guys to use. Jennifer, so we do 10,000 steps per day. Does this include the steps I'm doing whilst running on my program? Yes, 10,000 steps in total is fine. Danny Lee, do I need access to your MyFitnessPal? No. Luke, are prepped meals worth looking into? Yes, 100%. If you want any help with that, let me know. Make it easy for yourself. I think that's it. Guys, any more questions? If you forget afterwards, you can post them in the group, so don't panic. And I'm going to do another refresh welcome meeting this time next week. So again, anyone who's been here and watched this one, you've got a full week to bed in, to practice, to get used to MyFitnessPal, to play with PT Hub, and kind of get to grips with everything. And then we're going to do the same meeting again, outside of the normal mindset stuff, this time next Tuesday as well. Is there still a discount code for My Protein? Yeah, but my old athlete one still works, which is Lee, it's capital letters Lee-R37. I'll put it in there. When you create an account, I think that gets you 25% off on my protein. But to be honest with you, they've normally got better sales on than that anyway without using that code. So just it's crazy. It's crazy the company at the minute, my protein. They put the prices through the roof, and then every day there's like 80% off a protein, but it's like 5 times more expensive than it used to be. But yeah, you can use that code when you create an account to get 25% off. Danielle, I'll put it in there as well. But also Google around, because sometimes there are much better deals on than having that code. And if you use that code before, Danielle, then you won't be able to use it again, but it should also be on your account because you were a client before. 3, 7. That's in your nutrition plans as well, guys. That's in the nutrition plan under the nutrition section. Any more muscle for food good for meat hampers? 100%. 100%, guys. So we're like, I can summarize this entire question here. So no food is inherently good or bad. So this is the question we get. Is this good? Is this good? Is this good? Okay. It just has a value. Like a 5 is a 5, a 10 is a 10, and a 20 is a 20. They all have different values. The only foods that I really don't advise is an excessive amount of fried food. And that's not even because of the caloric value of it. There is a caloric value because it's cooked in oil. But anything that is fried is generally what's called a trans fatty acid, which is where the cooking process has turned it from a liquid to a solid, which is kind of, it's got a lot of downsides in terms of cholesterol and heart disease, and it's just generally not great for your body. So it's more for that reason than the fact that, you know, you're not going to lose body fat on it. You would do. It's the values that are most important at this stage. But, you know, guys, the healthier we eat, you know, whole foods like steak, potato, any form of meat, steak, fish, potato, oats, you know, the things that I generally tend to eat are my carb sources are oats and breakfast cereal. So I'll have oats, Cocoa Pops, Wheatos, Rice Krispies, Frosted Shreddies. Sometimes I'll have, you know, bread for breakfast. And then if I was having bread, I would obviously maybe have eggs and some bacon with it and some butter. But generally, my diet is oats and protein mixed with blueberries and lactose-free milk because I don't have dairy. Really simple. It's so easy for me to do. So I'll literally put, dependent on what kind of phase of training I'm in, like 60 grams of whole grain Quaker oats in a bowl, and then I'll put my protein in. People always ask what I use. I use USN Blue Lab because I think it's the best on the market, and I'm not even sponsored by them anymore. They dropped me, so that's not a sales pitch there. But I still do believe it's the best protein. There's a code for that as well, which is one of the old athletes who's still sponsored by them. K Taylor 20. So pop that one in as well. K Taylor 20, that gets you 20% off on USN. But I just believe that protein mixes best. It's got digestive enzymes in it. It's about the highest lactose-free one there is. So yeah, so I put my oats in, I mix my protein with it, I put my frozen blueberries on top, and then I pour lactose-free milk on it. A lot of people seem to think I'm a bit of a psycho having that cold. There's not any reason for having it cold. I just prefer it cold. Once it's mixed in, the blueberries and the milk and the vanilla and the oats are all mixed together, it's really nice. Likewise, you can put heated water in, you can put heated milk in, and you can make it into a porridge. You could change the blueberries to strawberries, to raspberries, to blackberries, anything you want really. And then I generally I'm not a fan of snacking. For 2 reasons. One, it spikes your blood sugar levels up and down. You get hungry in between meals. I don't like not being planned, and I generally plan what I'm going to eat when. So I will generally have 3 to 4 meals outside of that. And in each one of those meals, there will be steak, chicken, turkey, sea bass, fish, salmon, any of those protein sources. And again, this is where people get things misconstrued, right, guys? Beef is beef. Within reason, 200 grams of beef is beef. Fillet steak, sirloin steak, chili, lean minced beef on its own, beef burgers, Italian meatballs, roast peppered roast beef, packed. A lot of my food comes from pre-cooked packets of meat in the food because I can't be bothered cooking the meat sometimes, and it's not a lot more expensive. Again, chicken is chicken, but we could have chicken tikka, we could have chicken burgers, just normal chicken breast, chicken cooked in soy sauce, chicken cooked any way you want it. As long as we're not going too crazy, chicken is chicken. Again, turkey is turkey. So, I'd pick one of them, and then my protein sources are either wholemeal pita breads, wraps, or wholemeal bread, wholemeal pasta, white rice, McCain's ready baked potatoes, sweet potatoes. That's it. Again, that's a big variation there. I generally tend to keep it really, really simple. And then with each meal, I've got a selection of, I personally get the steamed fresh bags of veg. Again, they are a bit expensive, you could say. They're a quid each, I think, but I can literally get 200 grams of pre-cooked chicken tikka out, put it on a plate. I can put Matilda rice in the microwave, jasmine rice, coconut rice, tomato rice, all done in under 2 minutes. Steam fresh the veg. That's a meal done. Depends how, likewise, you could take more time. If you guys go to guide 5 or 6, I think it is, in the private Facebook group, there's 30 of my recipe books in there. That's 900 recipes. They're all calorie and macro calculated, and they're all ready on MyFitnessPal. Every single one of them. You just need to scan the barcode, or you need to put ACA, Advanced Coaching Academy, in front of the recipe name, and it will come straight up on MyFitnessPal. So again, let's say we wanted to eat as a family tonight. One of the key meals that everybody loves, I think this is because there's that, I went a bit over the top with the recipe books, to be honest with you. I think the reason why people love this is, one, because it's in book one. So in like book one, there's like peanut butter and jam overnight oats. There's black forest overnight oats. There's smoked salmon and avocado on sourdough bread. And the turkey chili, as Daniel says. Everyone loves the turkey chili, but you can cook the full turkey chili and it's 6 servings. So you might have, a larger person might have 2 portions, a smaller wife might have 1 portion, and then there could be 3 portions that are divvied up and frozen to put in the freezer, or put to have with maybe a jacket potato for lunch the next day. But again, there's the spicy beef curry, there's the chicken tikka, there's the chicken korma, there's the slow cooked fish curry. All those recipes are in those recipe books. They're pre-calculated. All you have to do is cook it and just put ACA in the recipe name, and it goes into MyFitnessPal. And again, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 portions of them. So again, it's horses for courses, guys. Like, I personally, you are not going to catch me trying to cook up 20, 30 meals on a Sunday night. Not a prayer. Wouldn't happen. Doesn't work for me. Millions of people do that and get incredible results. It works for them. They like to do it that way. I know what I'm eating every day. I've currently got 5 meals that I absolutely love, and I prep them each day fresh. But I don't do a lot of cooking. So again, it's about what works for you. This is why people say all the time, what's the best nutrition plan? What about intermittent fasting, as Richard, you said? My thoughts are intermittent fasting is great if it works for you and you're in a calorie deficit. Keto is great if it works for you. You like foods in high fat and you're in a calorie deficit. Low carbs, great if it works for you. You're sensitive to insulin and you're in a calorie deficit. What we're trying to do is keep you in a deficit doing what works for you, what fits around family life, what you enjoy eating, what's quick and easy for prep. That's what we're working towards over these periods, right? Not trying to fit some set plan to your life, because your life's not a set plan. And this is why it's so important. And I tell this story all the time, and it is a true story. Some of you might even know him, an ex-client of mine, Gary Turney. He owns a transport company in Chesterfield called CS2 Transport. I think he's got a quid or two, judging by the 200 or 300 lorries that I think he's got now. Anyway, when Gary came on board, he was like, "Can't you just tell me what to eat every day, Lee?" And I said, "No." And he was saying, what about if I pay you double? If I pay you double now, will you just tell me what to eat every day? I just want you to tell. And I said, "No, I'm not doing it." And I've had people say, "Well, why won't you do it? I don't understand." I'm like, because you and the missus go away every weekend. Yeah, I know. What are you going to do with my set plan when you go away at the weekend? What are you going to do when you're not working with me? What are you going to do when you're caught short in the office? What are you going to do when it's your son's birthday on Wednesday? Life isn't a set plan and we just can't work that way. And it's about, there'll be good days, there'll be bad days, but overall, we're learning to track food to move forwards until it gets to this point where I just know how to track my food every day. And that's where I'm at now. This is where people are like, how are you eating burgers all the time, Lee? How do you tour Ibiza for like 3 weeks and then you come home and you're still lean? Because I might have a really bad day, but then I know how to correct it over the next couple of days. And you can't do that with a set plan. I know how to scan barcodes in the airport on the aeroplane and still make sure over the 24 hours or the 48 hours or even the 72 hours that I'm within the reason. And this just becomes, guys, I promise you, if you put the time and effort into getting to grips with MyFitnessPal, learning how to guesstimate in restaurants, learning how to use it when you're on holiday, still have the most amazing holiday and the best time, but still track your food every day so you don't come home fat, bloated, and tired. There's a training in the group that I did on holidays, and it was like, whoever went on, yes, Deborah, you do need premium to get the barcode scan. Who wants to go on, like I had this conversation with a guy because he didn't want to sign up because he was going on holiday, and it was like 4 weeks down the line. And I says, well, how do you want to feel when you go on holiday? Fresh, confident, not bloated, in good shape. Right. How is not doing anything for the next 4 weeks before you go going to achieve that? It's not. You're just going to go 4 weeks backwards. So you're where you are now, and then you're not going to do anything for 4 weeks, which means you're going to need to do another 4 weeks when you get home to wipe out the bad 4 weeks that you've just had because you're not willing to take action. So we're going to be 4 weeks behind when you get back from holiday. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but I want to enjoy myself while I'm away. And I'm like, how do you want to feel when you're on holiday? Relaxed, fresh, de-stressed, confident around the pool. So how is just eating crap all day and seeing how drunk you can get all day going to achieve that? Well, it's not really. And it was like a light bulb clicked in his head. It's like, we don't need to go on holiday and not booze and not have a pizza and not have a meal when we go all out on the all-inclusive, but we will learn to be a level where, okay, I can slip out a little bit there and I can pull it back here. Or I know how to still enjoy my meals, still eat what I want within reason and get results. And that's when you will become that annoying person that's never on a diet, never needs another coach, looks the same before, after, and during their holiday, because it's just become a small, simple lifestyle change to get you where you want to be, but also to keep you there. And that doesn't come with a stringent, restrictive, disruptive set plan, because you won't be able to stick to it. Even, like I said, even the most stubborn person will stick to it for a few days, weeks, maybe a month before it's just impossible to do anymore. So don't get overwhelmed if it's not perfect. Ask for help if you need it. Make sure you track all your food every day. And within 2-3 weeks of doing it, it'll just be like sending a text message, filming the amount of people that are like, claim to be technophobes and can't use MyFitnessPal, but they're really good at like editing and delivering reels on Instagram. It's the same thing. They just gave time and effort to one because they got a payoff from it. And the time and effort, if you put the work into MyFitnessPal, is you will be able to eat within reason what you want for the rest of your life and understand how to stay in a calorie deficit, thus never needing another fitness, nutrition plan, coach, or anything in between. Guys, I think that is all the questions. Quick, I'm going to talk for 2 more minutes in case anyone wants got any more questions. If you guys do want to come, by the way, to the mindset day, which I mentioned, I'll post it in the Facebook group. It's Saturday, the 27th of January. It's at Ringwood Hall in Chesterfield, and it's a full day of designing your dream year. So we're going to get total clarity on what it is we want, total clarity on the plan we need to get there. Tom Dickinson, aka Tom Talks, is coming in to do a guest mental health workshop, and he's going to be running you through some tasks. and it's basically a full day. So 9 till 4, complete mindset mastery, overcoming adversity, dealing with overwhelm, and planning your dream year. So if you do want to come, let me know, or just post in the group. I'll post the ticket link up. But overall, let's do it. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm showing up. I'm here every day, Monday to Friday. You don't get this anywhere else. Other coaches don't do this. And the reason why is because I want every single one of you to achieve results. There's no lurking from me. There's no ghosting. So step up, step forward, and do the work. But also don't allow yourself to be convinced that you need to do something that's impossible to get what you want. You don't. All I can ask of each and every one of you is that you do your best each and every day and ask for help if you need it. If you don't do your best every day and you don't ask for help, then you've only got yourself to blame. It's two small things. Chelsea, quick one. On my PT Hub, I can't find a daily routine. When I go on assignment, it just comes up with all the workouts I've been assigned, not the day by day. I will just double check. I think, Chelsea, it sounds like you are looking in workouts, not programs. But I'll just check that for you whilst you're online. Guys, if anyone is watching it and you haven't yet completed your questionnaire, what are you playing at? Get it done this week, because we start on Monday and nothing can be written until your questionnaire is sent, because it has all the information that's needed to write your plan. Chelsea Newlands, it's like Big Brother Chelsea. I can see that you are active right this second. I can see what you're doing. I can see where you sat. No, I can't. So if you go to programs, Chelsea, you will see it says Chelsea Newlands body weight and daily steps training plan. If you click onto that and click start on the program, you can see you have steps. You've got 10,000 steps Monday, then you've got body weight conditioning, 10,000 steps, body weight conditioning, and then full body weight, core and impact, low impact, all those different workouts in your calendar. You just need to go to programs and hit press play. Chelsea's found it. Perfect. Guys, let's do it. Let's dig deep as a team and let's absolutely nail the next 90 days. But for now, all we need to think about is nailing this first week. Show up and just make sure you ask me for any help if you need it. Has anyone got any final questions before I go? We're all good. Right. No, all good, guys. If you do have, just email me, lee@freemanfitness.co.uk, or post them in the group. I'm here. I've got you back 100%. Let's do it. Enjoy your evening.